So basically, as what the title says, I'll be sharing to you guys my experience from my pregnancy up until I gave birth with this child right here. So I'm a first-time mom. I'm 24, and what I'll be sharing to you is all based on my personal point of view, personal experience, and every mother is different. We go through different struggles and challenges. So whether you gave birth naturally, had C-section, had epidural, or whatever, you know, as a mother myself, I salute you if you're a mom, a dad, or a parent in general. So I'll start with when I first knew that I was pregnant. I was pregnant October of last year, and by November, I had a feeling already that I was pregnant, so I bought a PT, pregnancy test. Actually, I bought 5 all in all just to be extra sure. So I did a test. The first 2 was like I wasn't quite sure of it because I took both tests at night, and they said to do the test early in the morning for the best accuracy. So I had 3 pregnancy tests piled up in the morning the next day. So yeah, I haven't told my boyfriend yet, and when all 3 came out positive, we were like shocked, more likely overwhelmed. But we were happy. I was happy that I had it with him. Right then at that moment, I told myself that I will get to make a family of my own with a man that have been together for more than 8 years. So I was happy. I really was. A bit shocked, but I was really happy, and I knew that he was also happy. So December came, and we didn't know how to spread the news yet to our family. Well, more likely to his parents, because both my parents passed away already. So we kept it within ourselves until some speculations, I don't know where it came from, back at home, that I was pregnant and this and that. So Russell's mother confronted him and asked him if the rumors were true. Well, of course, he had to share the good news right on time, and we struggled to tell them. And there, it was confirmed. I know they were happy as well. And on the side note, I also know they were shocked as much as we are. I told my aunt the night before New Year. The first one to know in the side of my family was my cousin Gretchen, because I know of all she'd understand me most. And I was glad I told her, and she was so happy for me as well. And she helped me spread the news to every single one of her family, and I was so relieved that everyone was happy. And if my mother was still alive, I know she will also be happy for me. In fact, she'd be the happiest.
Okay, it's time to gender reveal! It's time to gender reveal! Ay, bayi! No, ayan na.
Batay, ito, nagpikaw.
Uy, ka na ito!
Barato na nga kayo.
Ito, may yan ang manang imo, tuungan.
Kinsay feel nga, girl? Wala.
Girl! Wala si Kuya na.
Adodo.
Usara ka mo?
Feel nga, girl. Mabayot ka naman.
Okay na,
Go.
In 5,
Yeah!
3, 2, 1, ciao! It's a boy! Yay!
I hid my pregnancy to my friends at first, not because I was shy or something, but because I wanted to keep it within us, to avoid unnecessary questions or judgments. Because to be honest, it wasn't the best time for me because I was about to take the board exam, do reviews, and this and that, but I know deep within my heart that I was proud, and at the end of the day, it was my family. Judgments are just icing on the cake. Well, to cut it short, friends knew and still congratulated me. In my first OBGYN visit, I was already at my 3rd month. My family was furious why I waited that long. But yeah, we had our trans fee, and it was indicated that I was due July of 2020. Really, the first time I saw that monitor with that small baby, I wanted to cry. Like, you cannot explain. It's just you're so emotionally attached. So from then on, I regularly visited my OB. Everything was fine. The first 4 months was rough. Like, I threw up every single morning. Well, not all moms go through it, but in my case, I didn't had a specific food that I'd crave, that I'd love to eat. It's just the throwing up, and I'd be nauseous most of the time. I lost weight. It was so hard to be out. The office and do things for work. From 5 months onward, I stayed in our house throughout the entire pregnancy because COVID came as well, so I wasn't able to spend more time outside. People would say, wouldn't you get bored or something? You're alone in the house. Well, at some point, yes, but I do the chores like clean the house, do the laundry, I spend more time cooking, I sketch, play the guitar, sing to the baby. I do it on a regular basis and it kept me from getting bored. And not to mention Netflix, K-drama, anime, they were such a time killer. The 5th and the 6th month was smooth. I wouldn't complain, but the 3rd trimester was tiring. Physically, you'd change. My stomach was getting heavier and heavier. My hands and feet would swell like crazy. I was so tired of sleeping sideways because it's the only position safe for you and your baby, and you can't sleep on your back. And I loved sleeping on my stomach before, but unfortunately I can't do it. And don't even mention, you go pee every 10 minutes or so. And I was always hungry. In my case, I'd really wake up in the middle of the night to eat, really. But I made sure that I'd eat healthy and safe food because I was so mindful because I know that he's eating what I'm eating, and that's when I started to bulk again, bulk so much. My hips would hurt a lot. I had acne breakouts and they said my face changed, my nose was swollen, which I don't mind. All those things happened in the 3rd trimester. Well, I was still blessed because some mothers had it worse than I did. So basically, those were my experience during my pregnancy. Labor and birth. My gosh, it was friggin' painful. I couldn't believe I was able to go through it. It's something that I'm just really proud of myself. So, July 16, I went to the OB for my checkup. She did the IE on me and she said, you are 2 cm dilated. And I was like, what? Am I giving birth today? But usually she said it's not the assurance that you give birth. Some would reach a week or 2 even when they are 2 cm na. So we went home, chill, to no extent of having the baby yet. July 22, I was like, I felt my stomach tighten, but I was in denial since I was expecting to deliver July 31. So yeah, I even washed 2 loads of laundry. I had this weird sudden urge to clean the house, so Russell was back from work and I told him I think my stomach was tightening, but no big deal. We had our conversation, and then it's time for bed. So at 9 p.m. I said it hurts a little bit. So we thought those were contractions na. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah. We timed it. At first it was 20 minutes apart, then 10, then from pain 2 out of 10 it became around 4. It was getting worse. We waited a bit more. I was waiting for my water to break, diba? Ana, sa movies, there would be massive loads of water coming out of you. But 11 p.m. na, wala pa man. So, when I went to the bathroom by midnight, I saw blood. I was like, this is serious. We should call for the car so we could go to the hospital. So yeah, we went to the hospital following protocols kay COVID. So I was a bit sad that Russell would not be beside me on labor, but anyways, rules are rules. I did what I had to do. One doctor from the labor room did the IE and he was like, you're still 2 cm dilated, and placed the monitors on my stomach. I don't even know what it's called, but I think it was to check the baby's heartbeat or something like that. He said your contractions are far apart. So he called my OB and he said that my OB told him that I could go home, come back if contractions are 5 minutes apart already, or maybe I could get admitted if I like. So I called Russell. I was like, they said I could go home and come back when I feel like it's really it, or I could get admitted. He said it's up to me. And I was thinking that going home is a bit far and tiring, and I felt like I would really give birth already that day. So I said, sige na lang, I'd get admitted. And I told my doctor, and he said they'd prepare a room. So as I was in our room, it was getting more and more painful. As in, I was so irritated already. I stand, I sit, I lay down, I don't know. I get mad, I pinch anyone, I even hurt myself just to convert the pain. It was really, really painful. A doctor would regularly visit our room to do the IE to check. They said put before that IE would be painful, but for me it wasn't actually, like zero pain. So when he said that I am already 4 cm dilated, I told him that it hurts a lot na gid, doc. He said, ma'am, like it would get worse and worse towards the end. And I was like, it was already worse than I thought it would be, and wala pa day ni katunga daw. So the real pain really hit me when I was already 6 cm dilated. I want to go to the labor room na. So he said, okay ma'am, we would have you prepared. I was alone in the labor room. I wish Russell was with me. Maybe it could relieve the pain a little bit. But we were just texting, and he was calling from time to time, comforting me. It was getting worse and worse, and contractions were fewer times apart. It was like painful, really, I can't explain. The pain was in my hips, my stomach, my feet, my arm, God knows where it hurts. So by 10 a.m., my OB took rounds and did the IE. I was really hoping, please, hopefully I'd give birth na good, kaya sakit na kayo. But she said 6 cm pa ka, because usually they would wait 10 cm until it's time to push. I was like, dili pa day, doc. She laughed and said it would really hurt, but it would be worth it when the baby comes out. But honestly, it wasn't really thinking about how worthy it is. I was really about to give up because of how it hurts. I was texting Russell that it hurts a lot, and he was like comforting me, saying, hang on, you're strong, you can do it for our family. But at some point I was like, I think I would go with C-section because of how much it hurts. The contractions are killing me. So my OB went in again by 2 p.m, did the IE, and said I was already 7 cm dilated. So she said, almost there. But deep inside I was like, oh, when will this end? So my OB stayed there in the labor room with me. I don't know, it felt good seeing my OB there inside that room with me. She stayed there for about an hour, but the pain was getting more and more unbearable. So by around 4 p.m, I asked the resident doctor there in the hospital that maybe I could have some painkillers. He said, you could ma'am, but it wouldn't assure good na mawala ang pain. So he gave me a specific amount of dose as per order by my OBGYN. It didn't help, unfortunately. The pain was still really the worst. I was like really in a mental hospital there in that labor room, because I would really move a lot. Like every time the contractions would come, I would literally make any move. The bed would squeak a lot. The nurses and doctors would always say, just be calm and deep breaths. They would say as well that dili unta ko masig-utong kay mawala daw akong kusog and mahubag ang cervix. But you know what? I didn't listen. Every time contractions came, utong gyud ko, because it would somehow relieve the pain. I don't know. It was what I felt. So every time ila kong i-IE, they would say, ma'am, mabag na yung cervix, ay nasig-utong, but God knows why, kaya gugulo. At some point, when it was really painful already, I thought I'd call Russell that maybe I'd go for C-section because it was really, really painful. Ana gid kasakit, especially at 5 p.m, they did the IE again and said, hapit na ma'am, mga 7 p.m na kay baby. In my mind, di na ako kaya malas panig another 2 hours. But well, to cut it short, my OB came at around 5:30. I was so relieved to have seen her at some point. But actually guys, when you're in labor, you wouldn't feel any shame at all. Whoever goes on there, you wouldn't mind. Di nakabati og ulaw because of the pain. Even if lucky ang doctor, it sounds weird na lucky ang IE, but whatever. Nothing was on my mind. not even shame. It's just that I want the pain to go away. Then my OB came and did IE and said, "This is it, we're about to give birth." And like legit, I felt the relief like never before my entire life. So sa delivery room, it was so intense kaya it felt like nako sa movie. There were like 10 people inside the room and my OB. They prepared me. Actually, dali ra gud kay ko sa delivery room. As in, first push, Easy's head was out. So when he came out, he was so small. We did skin to skin and everything really was like blank to me. They placed him on my chest. He wasn't crying yet. I asked them, "Is he okay? Why isn't he crying?" They were spanking him so he'd cry, and then he cried. I really wanted to kiss him, but he was still covered in blood and all, and suddenly you'd forget the pain, like gone. It was the most fulfilling thing I have ever done. The feeling was surreal. They took me to the recovery room, let me stay there for about an hour. Easy was beside me, and they had him latch onto me. He was so good, like he directly latched good, both breasts. He didn't have a hard time, so he slept after being full. They took me back to my room, and you know, it's weird, you guys. I haven't felt an inch of sleepiness good, as in, they said you'd be very tired and you'll be very sleepy after giving birth. But for some weird reason, I wasn't. Despite the 20-hour labor, I wasn't. Imagine, July 22 at 9 p.m. contractions started, so I wasn't able to sleep the dawn of July 23 until I gave birth the same day at 5 p.m. Then I kept staring at Easy the entire night na pod, so basically I wasn't able to sleep the dawn of 24. They kept forcing me to sleep, but I can't. I don't know. So I was awake for 48 hours, you guys. 48 hours while giving birth in between. I was so proud of myself because my pain tolerance is really, really low. But I gave birth naturally. I have never been more proud of anything I did before than giving birth. It's the best. Being a mother is the best. Though tiring, but it was really worth it. So that was my pregnancy and birth journey. I hope it was something to get information from. To the moms watching, I salute you. We can do this. And to those who's about to give birth, hang on. Everything will be fine. I did it, so you can as well. Bye.